Oh Lord. Tide ho. Oh Lord. Ho tide. Lord. Oh
Tide
my.
ho.
Wait a minute. Oh Lord. Hey guys.
Hey,
Had to get her together before we started this wig.
you gotta believe that. No.
Well, start believing it. Anyways, girl. Hey guys, it's us. I'm a Lord.
Ooh. You're not a queen be tied. That's why I'm tied ho. That's what it is.
Well, I don't know about queen. You're a different kind of queen. Oh,
Oh, okay. Well, I
you're
didn't
what
know that
T.S.
was on
Madison was
there.
saying in that one clip.
Sarah?
You're what T.S. Madison was saying in that one clip.
Oh, the old F word that you've been calling me, mhm. Let's talk about it.
True. And I'll do it again.
All right, you guys. This is Tied Ho here.
And this is the T.O. show. We're back with part 2.
We are, yes, part two, the continuation. And I
Yes.
think we was given a little Easter egg on where we were going to pick up at,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
is Miss Meta.
And Charles. Okay.
Mm.
So I'll start it with the
No, I'll
backstory.
start because you
Do you
have.
have the back?
Oh, you
No,
do the
I'm saying
backstory. You
do
do
you
the
want to start it
backstory.
with the backstory?
No, you can start with the
Oh, okay,
backstory.
then exactly.
Well, how about this? Let's start with how you discover them, and then we can do the backstory. How
And then
about
you
that?
can, okay. Well, let's just do backstory, how we met them. So
Okay.
backstory first, and then how we met them. Let's do that. Work.
All right.
Okay. So I don't know too much about Miss Netta and Charles, about how long they've been together. I think they said they've been together for like 2, 3 years. Last I checked, right?
Um. No, I don't think it's. I don't know. I think it's not like 4 years. I
It's
don't know.
it's not
I don't
been
know.
that
I don't feel like
long. I do know people were trying to do make that angle of Miss Netta's
yeah,
a
we thought they
PDF.
were. Yeah, yeah, we thought they were longer, but I think it's like like you said, 2 to 4 years. So it's even in that thing. But it.
All right.
So I'm pretty sure it's well, clearly it's got to be a little bit more new than any because it's like she's still cooking for him and he's really still getting excited for. Well, I'm not saying. Well, my boyfriend cooks a lot, you guys, and he's a very good cook, so I'm excited when he cooks as well. But
Mhm.
really, I am. So maybe I don't know. Maybe so. It's definitely giving me that. It probably been 2 years, and she's happy she got a man and she's showing off a man
Yeah, I mean, and
because we
I'm
loosen the
happy.
sauce
I'm
on
happy for her.
why she was into this. But go ahead.
6 years. They've been together for 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
and they got married in 2024. So they've been shacking up. Wig.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, they've been together for 6 years, but fairly recently they've blown up. They had kind of blew up overnight. Let's be honest. They kind of blew up overnight on TikTok, which didn't help that they blew up because they carried their show. Somebody carried them over to Twitter or X, whatever, girl, and X at first dragged them. But then there was like
Mm-hmm.
this inverse of that where you saw people was dragging them at first. And then next thing you know, it switched to defense, like heavily defense, because it's like you're dragging her, but why are we dragging Miss Netta? You know? Like it's like you have an
Mm-hmm.
issue with Miss Netta, but why do you have an issue? Because there was no real valid point except people had an issue because Miss Netta had a man and
Mm-hmm.
they didn't. And a lot of that was due to a lot of people's I won't say jealousy first and foremost. I'm not going to say jealousy. I think a lot of people were more so angry with Miss Netta because they
Feeling
were
more
like,
entitled to her.
why do you have a man when I should? You're not attractive, or you're older, um you're not necessarily a woman, but are a woman in a way, because it's like Miss Netta, um, by the way, you guys, I say he, him because Miss Netta has said that they are he, him. They are not she, her. They do
Oh,
not go
after this
by.
explosive thing, I'm quite sure we know now
Yeah, 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 yeah.
what's going
So,
on right now.
but basically, they blew up because Miss Netta's videos where she would cook him dinner and she'd be like, "Charles, your lunch is ready," and that's it. That was the video. It was just she cooked something, would tell us about the food, what she cooked, and then put the plate on the table, would call his name and be like, "Your lunch is ready," and he would come down. She'd be like, "Oh, you want to get ready and dressed up?" And now this is like kind of doting over him. That's her man, whatever. Sure. Um, so she blew up because people considered her unattractive, and there was a little bit of fat phobia in there. I would say it's some featureism, some stuff, the things. And so there was this thing of like, why do you deserve a man when I don't have one? Why should you be happy when I'm not happy? So it's like a lot of that cumulated, sorry guys, into a hate train with Miss Netta, where it's like, okay, well, let's try to figure out what we can make sure to say to tear her down. Okay, first and foremost, oh, maybe Charles has special needs, and it's like, no, we don't know that first and foremost, but and you can't um diagnose somebody just by looking at the person. That's not how that works. Like you can't just be like, I'm watching how you act. Your special needs, and it's like we don't know that. So first and foremost, we don't know that, right? Um,
I do want to add something. I don't mean to cut you
okay,
off.
go ahead.
I do want to add in, especially when it comes to people, when it comes to any couple that is online, this is still what happens.
True.
So again, I understand that you're going on the point of that. Basically, it was more popular because of why the way she looks and stuff like that. But this happens to mostly a lot of couples. They're
Mhm.
basically trying to tear them apart. Same as well as duos, like even when we're doing whatever the case may be.
I'm not
And
disagreeing with you. I don't disagree
so
with you.
yeah. So it's in the same realm. It's still the same thing. It's just they're going by in different ways of what they're we're trying to break them up over or making fun of them about certain things. So
Right.
and it really goes to show your friendship or the relationship with the person.
Right.
At the end of the day, if it can stand the test of time, or you can let it get to you. So go right ahead. I just want to add that in. So everybody can be involved in this. If you put yourself out online like that as a couple
No,
or
I
as a
don't
duo,
disagree with you
yeah,
there.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think the difference is more so just that they hated Miss Netta specifically because they were like Miss Netta's ugly, or people consider her ugly. I'm so sorry. People consider Miss Netta
She's
ugly.
not cute, but
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like
but
people
that don't mean
have
she
this
doesn't
like,
deserve love. That
yeah,
doesn't mean she
and that's
deserves
what I'm
a
trying
great
to
person. Yeah,
that's where I'm going with that. It's like just because you don't consider Miss Netta attractive doesn't mean that she doesn't deserve somebody who does, you know?
yeah,
And it's like this
yeah.
like hatred of her morphed into, next thing you know, now y'all are following her. Now every video y'all watch, y'all are like, don't that food look nasty? Miss
It is
Netta keep
nasty
a
looking.
nasty house, or it's like these all these different like things that y'all want to have an issue. I don't care if it looks
Oh,
nasty or
wait a
not.
minute. Hold on. Am I joining the bag with my bag?
What happened?
Am I joining the bag with? I'm just being honest. The food don't look that great.
Okay,
So,
so let me
but
hold
if
on,
he
hold on, hold
likes
on, hold
it,
on, hold
if
on.
he
Let me
likes it,
ask
that's
you this.
fine.
Let me ask you this then. When you say that, do you feel the need to go out of your way to watch her videos to drag her?
No.
Okay.
Well, I just skip
So I
it.
wouldn't
Well,
put
I mean, I
you.
did watch it. I want to put this out there because again, a lot of those clips, because she does lives too. I would
Mhm.
like to be caught doing that. Just want to put that out there. It's like basically like a 30-second video, clip of him sitting down and what they're eating, and and I was like, this does not really look that good, or
To
whatever
you,
the
let's
case may
say that.
be. Yeah,
I think the thing is
and
I think the thing is I feel like I don't care enough to observe the food. If it looks nasty, if it looks good, I don't care that much, you know?
Well, I look at food stuff all the time. So that's the only reason why I stood around. Like if it
Mhm.
was talking about relationship advice, like I would not be listening to that.
Oh,
But
no, I'm
unless
not
I was
saying
like,
that I
okay,
wanna hear that either. I get what you're saying.
yeah.
I'm just
So it's
saying,
just I'm like, let me see what she
let me
cooked.
make the points and let's get to that part, and then we can get to our personal effects and our personal feelings. Can we do that?
Okay, Meg,
Yes, exactly.
rude.
Keep it cute or keep it mute is what I'm trying to say. No, I'm just kidding. But I get what you're saying, that it's like I it's personal taste. You're gonna have your personal taste of of where what you're interested in food-wise. You're gonna have your personal opinions about people's foods and stuff like that. That's fine. I feel like those things are fine. I think my problem is this: if you don't like Miss Netta, why are you going out of your way to find yourself watching her videos? You know? That's the difference I'm trying to make. In that you're following her, you're making sure you find her videos, download the video, go to another app, make fun of her, or stay on TikTok, make fun of her. It's like you're doing this it's this weird I want to know everything about what's going on with you so I can make sure you know that I don't like you. Does that make sense?
Oh,
And
absolutely. They
that's
make
the
it their
kind of
mission to
person I'm
win, and
specifically talking about. So, okay, work. Um So our videos started to get popular on Twitter. They started getting popular on TikTok, and you saw a lot more people who were dragging her, right? And then it switched into people defending her because it's like I will say this, Miss Netta, when she first started, let's say this, before we got to where we are now, I didn't care that much for Miss Netta, and by didn't care, I mean I didn't hate her or like her. I thought she was cool. I saw one video and I was cool with that. I was one of the people that didn't like how people were handling her, where it's like you're going out of your way to call her all these things, and it's like she's harmless. She hasn't really done anything specifically to deserve that, and not to say that people deserve that, that they have to do something to deserve the hate, but it's like Miss Netta's just very harmless. All she does is post videos about, food and Charles. That's it. It was just that, you know? So it's like there was a lot of hate towards her, and it didn't make sense. But, anyways, after that, you started to notice she gained or garnered a large enough fan base to where she could do more different things. Like she could be like, okay, well, we could do that, but I can also do this. I can do the lives. I can do this video. I can, like start trying to find brand deals. Like, they got married, that was a brand deal that they could get into. Her doing music, that's a brand deal that she can get into. She started going to different restaurants to test things out with him. That was a brand deal. It's like they started to reach into, influencers, you know? They started to reach into that level of influencer, and
hmm
even with that, they still had a lot
And
more
we got to
hate.
be very careful with that now,
We do,
influence.
'cause, some people yeah. But I feel like I can kinda say no, yeah, I can kinda say
Yeah,
influencer in a way.
yeah, no, it's
I
in the
feel like
middle.
I
Yeah,
would say
no.
yes in a way that she tried to stick to things that made sense at first, because it would
Mhm.
be, "Okay, here's some relationship stuff." That makes sense. People go to your videos for your relationship and for the food. So it's like you're sticking to things that make sense to your brand, you know,
Mhm.
at first.
Yeah,
And then we started to, the more exposure that Miss Netta got, the more she started to kind of do whatever.
yeah. She
So
said
you
she did
had
the
the
BET Awards, and the BET
that's not even
Awards
the first
part
one. Hold on, that's not even
was
the first
so
one.
hot.
That's not even the first one. Let's talk about the okay, I got into their background, by the way. We'll get into their mess.
Wait, where you working
What is your huh?
at? Wait, where you working at?
I'm gonna say we're gonna get into that mess, but like we're going to the first exposures. My first exposure was just one video. I saw one video and I was like, oh, okay. And it's like people putting it on Twitter and was like cackling at her expense. And I'm just like, I'm confused about this because it's just like this just seems like a regular situation. I was confused because I'm just like, why are we spreading this video around? Why are we making a big ordeal about it? It's
Because
just,
again, they don't want other people, in their opinion, ugly people to have happiness or
right.
whatever.
And then
So
she's
I think
not
that's what
thin. It's like she's not attractive to a lot of people. She's not thin.
is she
Um,
attracted to you?
I don't care about Miss Netta like that to care.
Okay, girl, that's what I was thinking. The
I'm
same
just
thing
saying,
you
like,
was
I don't.
thinking.
I feel like doing that is like so weird because it's just like I don't care about Miss Netta. We've said this conversation. I don't care about Miss Netta in any way. So I feel like what I don't what does that mean? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Mhm.
I'm I think the point isn't I think the point isn't that I'm attracted to her. The point is that why are y'all mad at Miss Netta for not being attractive to you and being in a relationship? That's the point. Like my
Mhm.
attraction to Miss Netta doesn't mean anything to the general conversation. I don't have to be attracted to Miss Netta. All I have to be is like a person who just does not care or cares. You know what I mean? Like it's like, do I care enough to be in her business? Why do I want to be in her business? Why do I want to be in this? Why do I want to be this kind of
Well,
person?
because she's making her business a
I
business.
think that's
I
a
mean, everyone's
different, but I
business.
think there's a difference between like, okay, I'm seeing this video and I move right on along, and I'm seeing this video and now I have to
But it
decide
went
that.
beyond that. But I think once it went beyond the video, I think
But you're
this is
missing
this
but
is
see,
what
that's
she's
the thing, you're
making.
missing the point I'm trying to make, and that's what I'm trying if you just let me make the point. I think the thing is, she really didn't do enough to make it to where it feels like we have to make it our business. All she did was post her little videos, and that was it. Once it became this where we are now, where you have Miss Netta doing the, plastic surgery, you have Miss Netta doing the thing where she's like, "Oh, I like to argue with Charles and on the lives and stuff like that because I know that y'all want me to argue with him so that y'all can have some kind of content. So y'all can have this and y'all can have that." And it's like, I why would you want to play in your marriage for people? You know?
Because
So that's what the
there's
thing
nothing
is like. I
else.
feel like at first I didn't care because I'm just like, I don't see the point of getting mad at Miss Netta for doing absolutely nothing to me. Like, I could understand if this was that situation like that white lady who, um excuse me, it was a white lady that did a recent video where she was saying the N-word, right?
Oh
The
yeah, I did
cooking
see
one,
that.
remember? And then she was trying to grift into the right winger spaces, but then it's like people found out the right winger was like, "Some about you isn't accurate. Some about you doesn't feel like you actually mean that you hate black people." And it turns out she didn't. Because she used to say a lot of positive, like she was very much a social justice person, right? She was very much about um let's stop doing blackface, black on black crime is inaccurate, stuff like that. So it was like, "Oh, you don't
She
mean
was
this.
doing
You're
her
just
little
grifting.
hobby.
You're just grifting into our company so that way you
Exactly,
can make
doing her
money."
little hobby.
Then girl, turns out she has a black child. So it was just like, "What are we doing? You're just doing this to make money. You don't actually mean what you're saying." Which I want to point out to a lot of people. A lot of these right winger, like social media people who are trying to gain fame, a good chunk of them are grifters. A good chunk of them don't actually care about what they're saying. They just want the money. They just want to create a career for themselves and make a name for themselves and make money off of you. You are a cash cow to them. You don't mean anything to them. And all of what they're saying doesn't mean anything. And
Mhm.
it's like Christian Walker. Exactly my point of a person who you don't mean any of what you're saying. Because when
Oh
somebody tests
girl.
you, so when somebody checks you on what you're saying and tries to test you out and
And
see
then
what you if
he
you
switched
actually mean it,
sides.
he don't actually mean a lot of what he was saying because he don't actually put thought into what he's saying. He's just saying words. I don't
Mhm.
know if he's still doing anything. I think once he started
I
trying
haven't
to
seen him in a
flip
minute.
I think once he started trying to
Mhm.
flip, he disappeared a little bit, let's just be honest. But anyways, back to this.
Mhm. The
So,
Republicans, they got rid of his ass, huh? They
girl,
let that
and
bitch show
the
left.
our people did too because it's like, what do we have to talk about? You don't mean anything. And now that you've kind of switched over or flipped, I said switched and flipped at the same time, wig. Now that you're trying to switch over, it's like, oh, this is a grift. And we knew that from the beginning. We knew that from the beginning, but people just wanted to talk about you because you were grifting, but you were well seen. You were very much highly seen because you look like how you look and you're one of the people, you know?
Yeah,
But, anyways, back to Miss Netta and Charles. You ready?
yeah,
All right. So, I feel like I still didn't have that much of a care for or against Miss Netta when people were angry with her about the um plastic surgery moment where they got a plastic surgery, Miss Netta got a BBL, Charles got abs implanted. People had an issue with that. I didn't.
wait, what?
Yeah, Charles got
I thought that was a
abs.
joke.
No, that was for real. That was for real. They were very serious with that. They actually did it. And they even did it on, I wanna say live, because the doctor that they did it with, is one of those people that, "Oh, I do these things for social media so that way I can get people's attention, and I want y'all to come to me," and so he does it on live so y'all can see it. So y'all can see the entire process from the beginning to the end. Yeah, that was serious. They very much got that. There's actually current pictures of Charles with abs, and girl, people was like, "Wait, is Charles hot?" No. No. Okay? No. No, girl.
Lord.
No. But yeah, so that was the thing. I didn't care. Did you care? No? Okay, work. Cause let's just be honest, you didn't care. Did you? Wait, did you?
Well, no, I think
Okay. No, I'm just
my
talking wait, hold
introduction
on.
is
And
you.
by
You
that
go
I
ahead. You
mean
go.
specifically just about the plastic surgery moment. Did you care? No, right?
Well, I didn't know it was true now because, like I said, this situation they was talking. They've been black women been coming out speaking about the situation
Mhm.
and how they feel, and it was like, I mean, of course, some reasons, and it's like I'm not worried about a girl who got a BBL and got a man who got some pants and painted on or something like that. And I was like, oh, I was like, did that actually really happen, or they just
Wait,
talking?
who said this about them?
Oh, some girl on TikTok.
Oh, wig.
I don't be staying for that long. It's like sometimes you just be scrolling and then you're like, and you know,
And you move right on.
move
Yeah,
it.
I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that actually did
Yeah.
happen. There was a whole thing about that. They did it on live. I didn't care. From what you're saying, you didn't care. All right, next
No.
controversy. I think a lot of people really dig into the controversy of them fighting on live. And according to Ms. Netta, they do that so that y'all can start talking more about them. It's more about the
Mhm.
attention that they garner from y'all's want desire to see them breaking up. You know?
Yeah.
Imma be honest with you, once Miss Netta said that actually, no, backtrack. I didn't care from the beginning about that either. Imma be honest
I
with
don't
you.
know either.
I
'Cause I
just
don't know.
don't I feel like I saw a couple of their videos, and I try to avoid looking at their videos because I don't care that much. I think that's where I'm at with it. Like, I think I've always kinda been like, I just don't care that much, and I just don't see the point of why a lot of y'all care if you don't like her, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if I express that I don't particularly care for a person, I try to go out of my way to move forward and don't look for them. I don't wanna see, I don't wanna deal, I don't wanna hear about you, nothing. I don't want anything to do with anything that has to do with you, you know?
Mhm.
And once you kinda give me that, I'm good. I don't need to hear it. I don't need to see. I don't wanna do. I don't wanna hear about it. You got it, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, um, yeah, the arguing thing, how did you feel when you saw all the arguments and stuff like that? The arguments on live and stuff?
Well, I did not want to say it, of course not.
Right.
But I did feel like, okay, here it goes again. Another couple that gets online and then they, now that they're having cracks in their relationship, or as it's answering comments, or her being upset because he's on his, like, it was, I was like, this is just like really, really,
Annoying.
it's like, it's one note. It's like, we
It's
all know it's
annoying.
just bullshit. Yes, we know some of it is made up and we know some of it could be real
That's
at the end of the
true.
day, and I think, however, I just really don't care because I kind of figured, like, this is what you're getting yourself into.
Mhm.
And if y'all want to bring that relationship problems to online so people can dissect and, I mean, to me, is it worth it? And I think the point is, it shows the point that you're talentless if you have the result to making up stuff. And it's
Right.
even kind of like with that thing that, remember that, and it still goes on now, where the couple YouTubers or whatever case may be, and some of them used to be fun at first, but it's like, how many pranks is you think we're gonna fall for? How many times they got a big
Oh,
camera on your
yes.
dash
Or especially
that,
the ones
they
that
know,
especially when they would do the pranks and it's like, "Oh, okay," and then they would do a prank video back to back to back, and you're just like, "How do you expect me to believe that y'all pranked each other back to back to back? Like, you
mm,
expect me to believe that you just pranked this man or woman or whatever one video after the other? It's like you posting 5 videos in a row of y'all doing prank videos, and it's like, I'm supposed to
mm,
believe that y'all are
in the
pranking each
same
other this
damn
much
car, in the same damn outfit. I'm like, girl, where are
on the
going at?
same
Oh,
day. Like, girl, come be serious.
when they try to do the, he's talking to somebody else, or girl, girl.
Can I just say, since we're talking about this, since we're on this topic, I'm putting that on my X list because I was so tired of that era where the couple vloggers and all that would be like, "We're gonna do a prank video, pranking. I'm gonna prank to make it seem like I'm sleeping with some man in the bed, and my husband's coming in. Oh, y'all got to see his reaction." It's like I don't want to see
You ain't gonna
this,
send a reaction, bitch. You gonna be, yeah, the reaction is you. The reaction is you don't have permission to upload that, and on top of that, it's over. You got time for all that.
and I'm tired. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna put that
Okay.
back. I'll put that on my list because I remember when that we had an era of that, and I'm so happy that we don't anymore.
And they were everywhere,
Everywhere,
everywhere, and a lot of them are breaking up.
everywhere.
Like, a high percentage of them are broken up. Like, no lies, they're
They were getting
broken
on
up.
my nerves. That was on my nerves. It's so many others. I think when we do part 3, you guys, we're gonna do a part 3, by the way. I wanna get
Yes,
into
we are.
more. But okay, back to Miss Netta and Charles. Okay, so work. I think once I started to realize I didn't once I started to have my, "Oh, I don't care for them," is more so in the recent content stuff that they've been doing where you see, one of the things that really kind of made me go, "Mm," was when Charles was talking about how he's an alpha male and as a real alpha male, you got to make sure your woman cook for you because you a man and you be just slaving away and this and that. And I was just like, oh God, you run those you're a part of that red pill situation, Charles. Like, girl, what are we doing? You just got a BBL and abs, and here you are as a real man. You gotta take care of
Gotta
your
take care
woman,
of
and
your
she
woman,
gotta
and
cook
she
for
gotta
you.
cook for you.
Am I
Am I?
hello?
Hello? Why is it not coming on?
Hello?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I had to switch on my headset.
Okay, wig. Because I could hear myself repeating. I was like, is she copying me? But then I realized it was just me. Quality gotta talk for the girls to hear.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Okay, but anyways, back to this. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can
We're
hear
good. Okay. Yeah, he's an alpha male type of person. He's in that red pill thing where he's like a real man can do this and all that. So, I was over it then. That was my first strike. When I saw
you.
that, I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, I don't like this." Second strike for me was when Miss Netta went on that transphobic rant because people was like, "Oh, Miss Netta, are you trans? Like, what do you identify?" Like that kind of thing. And Miss Netta went on that transphobic rant. And I was just like, all you could have said was, "No, I'm not trans. Miss Netta is just who I am or who I feel comfortable as, but I don't go by she, her. I go by he, him. Just and keep it to that." You truly could
Yeah,
have kept it there. It's very easy not to be transphobic. It's very easy.
but
I
you
just
know what? For some people, it's not, especially when you
I
are
see. I see. Because when she did
when
that,
you
I was just
are.
like, all you could have said was, "I'm not trans. I just Miss Netta is who I am or who I feel comfortable how I feel comfortable expressing myself. That's it." It's truly that. That's all you had to do.
Yeah,
You're done.
your alter
Um,
ego.
that was my second strike for me. Um, it was something else that they did that I didn't particularly care for. But I'm just gonna say the third strike is this. I want to vote that man back in because he gave us that stimulus check. That was my third strike. That was enough for me. Those were
Yeah,
those are really the moments that I'm kind of just like, oh, I don't particularly care for y'all if we're gonna be doing all this.
yeah,
Those three moments were really it. I know a lot of people checked out when she was doing some of the other things. Those were the three moments that I was just like, I'm checking out.
yeah.
But,
Basically, do that.
what are your moments? Like, what's the moments that really kinda got you to where you're like, "I'm checking out?"
I've already checked out of
Mhm.
the Kiss Maybe. I don't think I ever watched them that much. I
Same,
know that they
actually.
were gaining fame, going down the TikTok
Yeah.
uh,
It didn't help
line.
that they carried over to Twitter. That didn't help them at all.
Well, and that's where we want to explain again, you guys. I usually am the TikTok girl, and
Yeah.
he usually is the
I'm into
Twitter
both.
girl.
I'm both,
Like I said what I said.
and I'm correct. Thank you
Uh,
very much. So correct. I am.
Nonetheless, you guys.
Mhm.
I was never really clocked in, and I think the part, and what we say that's the reason why we're saying that we're tired of seeing it is that we're not really watching this like is in some sense that we can't escape them because we don't want to watch that, we don't want to see it, but every so often you keep on scrolling stuff like that, you're gonna basically hear
Especially when
what's
it's like
going on in
such
their lives.
a there's such a hot topic right this second. Yeah,
Yeah,
I am kind of like I do agree though. It's like it feels kind of like yeah, you can't really necessarily escape them, especially like everybody wants to talk about them and what they're doing,
yeah,
what's happening. What's the update on
mhm,
Charles and Miss Netta? Are they broken up yet? Are they together? It's like everybody wants to hear that information. I don't. And the reason why I
yeah,
say I don't because I don't care. I
yeah,
didn't care when they first started, when y'all first started really getting into the space of like dragging them. I don't care now and I want to hear less of them, but
yeah,
not because of and not because I'm jealous or anything like that, because I don't care. I'm happy for her and Charles that they're together, that they found their one, and that they're happy together. I just don't wanna hear all the rest of the stuff.
well, I'll take it a step further for me. It matters not for me being how about this? I'm happy either way. Baby. I'm happy just not seeing them no more.
Yeah,
I think my opinions of their happiness has nothing to do with me as well.
true.
So I mean, if it's happening to the point of about you say it doesn't matter.
Right.
It matters not. I'm just not seeing them. And I don't know these people, and I think you gotta always
Same.
remind myself, you do not know these people.
Right.
And
I wanna say I wanna press that too because it's like, I think sometimes due to how we deal with influencers and celebrities, pseudo celebrities, macro celebrities, micro celebrities, um, web reality celebrities or reality whatever they call them, celebrity.
yeah,
It's like how we
hey,
deal with
morning.
these people is we assume we know them more than we
Yeah,
actually know them. And
yeah,
that's kind of first and foremost, that's the first problem, is that we created this kind of like parasocial relationship with these people that we do not know.
yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, today I was being a little bit nosy at this one YouTube couple that broken up. His name, I think his name's Tyler, Tyler,
Mhm.
Tyler Duffy, and he recently came out, I guess, giving up because we haven't seen him online. He used to do his little OnlyFans and stuff like that. He had, but he been MIA for on his YouTube and stuff like that, and on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
So, he finally came out with an update and all that. And I was over there being nosy. I'm like, girl, what had happened? And
Wig.
well, I mean, I was listening in or whatever the
We'll
case
see.
may be. So, we can come across some people that we are a little bit interested in on,
I think there's a
how their relationship is
difference.
going.
I think there's a difference though. And I think that's what we've been saying this entire time is there's a difference between just being kind of like, "Oh, I'm interested in what they got going on," and being like, "I wanna watch them so that I can make sure that whatever happens for her, I celebrate the negatives." I think there's a
Yeah,
huge difference between somebody
yeah,
who's just, like, interested in the person and they're like, I enjoy their videos." Like, I used to enjoy watching a lot more Terry Joe, right? I was very big on Terry
mm,
Joe. I would go on YouTube and be like, "Okay, I can watch this 30-minute to an hour video that's doing compilations of Terry Joe videos. I can do that." And I would enjoy that.
yeah,
That's fun. And not as much now because of what happened with, Victoria, right?
yeah.
I think that kind of really changed my perception. I know that they've all talked and Terry Joe is apologizing that they're cool. I still don't like it. I still didn't like how that situation panned out, and I feel like I feel like I'm okay with still watching Terry Joe every once in a while. I'll still watch, right?
I think it's just stuck in back of our mind because it's like, I don't know, it's like, you don't do that to a friend. And let alone, we have all had moments where we have said things behind people back. Like, if you're venting about a friend or whatever, it's not saying that you don't say it in your face because I'm the type of
True.
person.
If you're
But
really
I
close
think
with
the
that
point is,
person, you do. Like, there's a difference
yeah,
between I won't say it in that person's face and this is your friend. You're cool enough with this person that you can say it to them. You know?
yeah, and definitely that it's not going to get back or whatever. Because I'm like, everybody knows Sausage Fest Family is known for this. And
True.
last time I checked, I think y'all are. I think you. I mean, for Terry Jo, I think Terry Jo, you're more friends with Victoria than Sausage Santana is
Yeah.
with you. Whatever. Because Sausage Santana is he's a. I think me, of course, is not the one. He is a convenient friend.
Right.
And it's convenience. It's always going to be transactional
Yeah, I can see that.
for him. So
I
just
can
like
see that.
he's reaping all the benefits from that situation with JT. I mean, not JT. What's the name?
Carisha?
Young Miami.
Yeah.
And the did I'm quite sure he getting money from him too as well.
Well, he's kind of doing the thing where he's doing a video about it to kind of talk about it in a very candid situation or space. Well, just I don't know if it's going to be as candid as they're advertising it, but the way they're
It
talking, it's
ain't
going to
gonna be that.
happen. We'll see. But no, I get what you're saying. That it's like, yeah, I didn't like that situation because I'm just like, You don't really know Saucy like that in the first place. Like, Saucy's a new friend, and, um, now I can understand people who are mad at Saucy, right? I don't necessarily feel like I am, and here is
No.
why.
If you say that you don't like this girl, why you don't love her? Let's have the conversation about do we think it was any goodwill. The reason why,
No, no, no,
of
I'm not
course
saying
not.
I'm not saying there's any goodwill. I'm saying
No,
uh,
no, 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 no. We on the same page.
oh,
No,
okay.
I'm saying that I said shouldn't he have done it? From my opinion, no,
No,
I
he
wouldn't have
shouldn't have.
done it.
I wouldn't have either.
But I mean, but he doesn't owe any loyalties to them. I'm like,
Yes,
well, then y'all not
he's not really
friends.
cool with her, he don't know her. I think on that live, that was his first time meeting her in person or
Yeah,
just in general. So it's like, I'm not necessarily mad at Saucy because that's not Saucy's friend to
yeah.
have any loyalty. Now, I'm more mad at Victoria, and Tiana is her name, by the way. I had to think of her name too. Her too. I watch her videos every once in a while, but I haven't watched them as much. And again, that's all of that is due to this situation, but that's yeah. I feel like, yeah, that's a kinda thing too.
You don't play your friend. I think we all been there, and I think
Yeah.
that's why why people have these because like people been there before, and
Mhm.
it's like you just certain things you do because it's like out of all things you could have talked about, especially when I could last time I checked, I think it was out of town or something. I don't know, they were
Yeah.
doing some kind of event
They were like in
together.
LA doing something.
Yeah, and it's like, and I was the topic of discussion or whatever the case may
Out of
be, and look
nowhere,
long to
you
the
just
point of them saying,
decided to
"Oh, I'm
bring me
boring,"
into
and
this
I'm like, why
conversation.
is that even a conversation? Let me tell you something. Boring people is fine.
Mhm.
Even at a young age, I'm like, when I was their age, boring is okay. I'd rather have
I
to
feel
deal
like,
with a
to be
boring person
fair,
versus a messy, dramatic, over the top,
right.
everywhere and everybody else's business person. I
I feel
mean,
like, to
it is
be
okay.
fair, I wanna also add in, even outside of that, I feel like the problem is if you find your friend boring, if you're not interested in that friendship like that, then just stop being friends with that person. You don't have to be friends with them, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to hang out with that girl. Y'all do know that. It's
Yeah, and the
okay.
same thing goes on her end too. I'm like, girl, you
Right,
got the information, what you gonna do?
right.
And I think the point is, you know how we are now with some of these celebrities. Once they make a decision on how they want to move forward or whatever the case may be, then baby, that's all on you. Because
That's all you need, really.
that's just what it is. We put our hands up and we washing our hands with her.
'Cause I was
You
just
got
like,
it if you
"Oh,
want
this
to
is
be friends.
not great at all. This is not fun
Mhm.
at all." But, back to our main point, before we get distracted. Um, yeah, those are my 3 points with, Charles and Miss Netta, where I was kinda just like, "Well, I don't need any more of this." But, again, I don't think I'm gonna ever escape them, and
No, yeah, I think they're eventually about to go away. I think
I think they're
it's one of
starting
those
to
situations
wane.
to build you up to tear you down, and
Right.
I feel like that's what they're loving to see the aftermath and the coming
Yeah,
down
a
on
lot
it.
of people want that, like, I think we see that often with, like, rising stars and stuff like that, where people are like, "We're gonna build you up because we like you right this second, and then we're gonna decide we're tired of you." Like,
Mm,
they did it to Ice Spice, which honestly, from the get-go, I don't know why y'all were sitting here like, "She makes the same music." It's like she was making the same songs from the start.
yes,
She was This was always Ice Spice's vibe. She was always this kind of rapper, you know? So it's like, what's
hey,
different now versus then, you know?
nothing.
So it's like,
Just
yeah,
give me a light.
it's that, um, a lot of y'all, for whatever reason, thought that Sexy Red would be a lot better as a person. I don't know where that came from, and I don't know why, but that's on you.
Get them sexy. Get them sexy.
Her music is
That,
fun. I'm not gonna lie. Her music is
mhm.
very fun where did y'all get this thing that Sexy Red was a good person?
Well,
That's
didn't they say
all.
she had to cancel her tour because her ticket sales was selling?
She said that. Allegedly, she said that because I think I saw something about it, but I didn't confirm that, so I don't wanna say, "Yep, it's a definite," because she may not have, and she may be doing, something. I don't know, girl. Um, but yeah, that I don't know. Is there any more you wanna add about the Charles and Miss Netta thing, or is there any final closing points you wanna make?
No. Well, uh, for the couples out there, if you wind up getting into a couple relationship, some things need to be private
Yes.
and keep it out there because that becomes your job, your likeness online, your image online. It becomes all that. And yes, you're gonna have the girls in your damn, even the fine ones in your DMs trying to stir up some things and mess up things. So I'm just saying they are out there and they are seeking
Oh,
to
no, I'm
destroy
not
your
disagreeing
relationship.
with you. I absolutely am not disagreeing with you because, yeah, it's a thing. There's a lot of people that they don't necessarily care if they ruin your relationship. All they care about is I'm the cause of it and there's some kind of gain that I get from doing this, you know?
Yeah.
Like for
And
them, it's about the social media fame of it. It's about the fame of that.
and I think for me, especially when it comes to those couples, I have been jumped out of it, especially when they be doing that blogging,
Mhm.
especially when they be doing those. And I used to watch a couple of them, and then I was like, I'm the main character. I'm watching these people, and half of them don't even be doing anything
Right.
anyway. Just want to put that out there. I do, however, love watching when they're doing something. I mean, they had the couple. They're on YouTube. I think their YouTube name is Husband and Husband,
Mhm.
and it was doing a blog on how they were trying to pass. They were trying to pass some background thing for to adopt.
Okay.
They want to adopt, and I thought that was something that was coming. They got
Right.
approved and all that. They're still waiting on the kids. So I'm like, that's interesting. That's what we want to study
We want
or whatever. Because I'd
fun
rather
and interesting
be,
journeys. I feel like
yeah,
honestly, if Miss Netta and Charles had um stayed in that oh, also I know a lot of people was irritated with those videos where I will say they're funny to me in the way that it is just like, girl, what are we doing? It's those videos where they're walking out the car and they're waving and people are and they're like posting audio where it sounds like someone's like, Miss Netta, oh my God, and Charles. Have you seen those?
mm-mm.
Where they're
Oh
trying to
yeah,
pretend
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
girl,
yeah.
where they're trying to
When they
pretend
show up
like
to
there's
events and I'm like,
where they're
girl,
trying to pretend like there's a big audience of people around walking around looking at for them and all that. Those are
it's like that's
funny.
audience noise on that key thing that you got at home
Yes, girl, it's just
on that
like
key
this
dash thing.
thing.
What is it?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
like,
what it
girl,
is.
that's just so funny because it's just like, what are we doing?
And we love
What
it.
are
But
we
you know, they
doing?
wasn't able to get into the BET award. They was able to get in.
Oh yeah, they were invited technically, but
Yeah.
then they weren't allowed to come in. First and foremost, in this Netta, you should have known that was gonna happen. Y'all are not a straight heterosexual couple. You
Mm.
should have thought about that first.
And I
Um,
did want to bring up another thing too, because this is just random, but still no, it has a lot to do with TV. I want us to complain on Big Brother because I've always noticed, and
big.
again, which I can't stand, there's always the one token gay guy, and I'm like, why don't y'all put another gay guy in there so they can mingle?
Mhm.
Let's talk about it because all
Wig.
we see is these heterosexual people hopping all over each other. Let's put
Y'all
another
had
gay
that.
guy.
You had that, girl.
We are not
Ariana
talking
Grande.
about Ariana Grande brother, girl. Shut the fuck up. See, that's the shit I'm talking about. I said what I said. Okay.
You weren't interested in their love for each
I
other.
didn't want to see that. That boy, Frankie is not a cute gentleman. Frank look like Frank. Frank look like he is roughed up. I'm not saying
Girl.
he's not fuckable, but it's like, there's Frank.
Oh, we know what you're into, girl. Busted
Anybody, what is
wigs,
up with that name, Frank?
tired.
Girl, Frank just, Frank just like a
Anyways,
name that
girl.
don't want to sit down. It's like, girl, Frank. Girl, shut up,
Anyways, girl.
Frank.
All right, you guys. Closing thoughts for me would probably just be, um, we got to do a lot better with how we engage with people to where we get them famous. Like, I think
Mhm.
a lot of people, and Miss Netta does this, right? A lot of people profit off of, and know that they can profit off of our anger, our disappointment, our disgust, what have you. And
Yeah,
whatever way I can do to get you mad at me enough to where I can get enough money, I can get a bag, or I can create a fame, a name for myself, a branding for myself, I would do it. And that's what we're
of course.
seeing with people like Miss Netta. That's what we're seeing with Amber Rose right now. Like that's what we're seeing with that white lady that I was telling you about earlier. It's like they, a lot of people understand that, not necessarily just black people, right? A lot of people understand that not necessarily just black anger is profitable, but all anger is profitable unless it's
Yeah.
conservatives. Getting conservatives mad isn't profitable for you. So you got to find the
Oh,
spot that gets you money.
it's
And
easy
that's
to
what they're
get
looking
them
for.
bad. Just
It
long,
don't take much.
then drive past the drag show. They gonna pay all the time.
Girl, do you know that there was this guy, a conservative rapper that was doing a thing where he was like, the gays are trying to get our children and here are the toys. And most of the toys were just like, okay, this is not that. And then one of them was like this Rainbow High book, chapter book for little girls. And it's like if you watch Rainbow High, I'm a doll collector, so I know. If you watch Rainbow High, there is no queer characters on Rainbow High. It is probably the most non-queer cartoon that is out there. It's just like all of them are straight. So what were we doing? You just saw a book with a rainbow on it. It was like rainbow. They're trying to get our kids. And the other thing that they used in the video was wine. And it's like, are you giving your kids wine? Like, how does that make sense to you that wine is trying to influence your children? It's wine. They shouldn't even be drinking it. They shouldn't even be looking at it, you know?
I think people get into that, and I feel like it's just what Christianity.
Yeah.
They like to hide behind all that ugliness.
Nonsense.
I mean, they try to get that behavior and try to put someone. This is the reason why. But no, you're doing it because this is what you are. We need to stop all that. I think the kids is a full cop out to just be nasty. Your
True.
religion is a full cop out for you to be nasty. Your
Agreed.
politics is to, it's all just like stop with that. No one, girl, fuck them kids. Y'all don't be worrying about them damn kids like that. Y'all need to stop.
That's
Y'all
true.
really do not. Y'all
That's
really do
true.
not. Really do not. I really don't get. You can't be saying you care about kids. Actually, you just need to care about human beings in general. Let's do that.
Why
Let's
don't you
talk about
care
that
about yourself?
because y'all sitting up in here talking about the kids, but what about other people? And and you grow. See, that's the point. Let's stop worrying about everybody because your
Right.
kids ain't the only people that's in this world. And it's like you don't want to hear that. That's just so selfish. But they're talking about, oh, I'm a Christian. I love everybody. No, you don't. No, you don't. We're tired of hearing it. You have said it. You have to understand. And we're tired of you hiding behind your kids and with this nasty ass behavior. We don't even know how y'all became parents. Y'all shouldn't be
True.
at the end of the day. I'm just over it. And I think we need to start calling them out to the carpet. So people bring up the kids and say, girl, we don't want to do that. No one care about the kids. You don't care about people themselves. I'm a person, I ain't talking about no kid right now. What's up? What you got to say? Don't break up with that kid. Hey,
Big. But I agree.
what?
I agree. But yeah, you guys, that's what we're talking about for part two. Um, Stay tuned because part three, we're gonna kind of just do as much of a speed round as we can because I feel like part one we focus on one thing technically. We focus on three, but it was mostly like one was really taking the brunt of it, and this one we really wanted to get our feelings out about Miss Netta and Charles. Which
Yes, we
again,
do.
I want to reiterate from this point, I don't have any ill will or negative thoughts or opinions about Miss Netta and Charles. I don't care for where they're going with their social media fame. Um, but I also feel like, I mean, they gained fame from they gained fame from hate that was being placed on them. Of course, it doesn't have to make sense. They don't have to make a lot of sense, you know?
Yeah,
But all right, you guys, this was us, the T.O. show. I am a lord.
and I said, huh?
And this is the, as I just said,
See
T.O.
you, show.
show. Wig.
All right, and we'll be back with part three.
We will. Bye you guys.
All right, you guys. Bye.